essentially whatever you're struggling with, whether it be past trauma, current trauma, past mistakes, inability to stay present, uncharted territories, or just literally your mind running rampant and you don't know how to calm it, just please take care of yourself.
If you are feeling really low, you are feeling sad, things are feeling like there is not a light at the end of the tunnel. That is
You're
not
overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's not who you are.
That's not who you are. That's what you're feeling. And it's okay to feel that, but it's what you're feeling.
This podcast contains discussions about sensitive topics.
And I'm not saying this to sound mean, but like, who cares?
I quit my job for this.
Let Me Nostalgia Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Let Me... Oh my God, I did it again. Let me... You know what? Fuck it. We're keeping that one in. Welcome back to Let Me Nostalgia. We already did a previous take where I said Let Me Nostalgia.
This is the second take of Brady fucking up the name.
God. Welcome back to Let Me Nostalgia. My name is Brady. I am joined with my co-host and little sister Faith. Last episode, we left y'all on a little bit of a cliffhanger.
We've been doing that lately.
You know what? I kind of like the part 1 and part 2.
Cliffhangers are fun. Yeah, I like it too.
I like the part 1 and part 2. I think it gives the continuation a little bit of cinematic theatrics.
Yeah,
like,
little va-va-voom, you know? We need more of that.
Sure, yeah.
Whatever.
We're talking about some depressing shit, but va-va-voom.
Va-va-voom. It's depressing shit, but it's cinematic. Anyway, yeah, this is part 2. So you heard us trauma dump the last episode because we just love to sit and trauma dump.
We do, and I'll say this, like, tying back to it being Mental Health Awareness Month. I am very guilty of thinking that my trauma is not trauma compared to other people's trauma. Mm-hmm. I am very prone to doing that, and kind of like honestly continuing of most of what I discussed last episode is that's another issue that I deal with is I shouldn't be worried about my issues when others have far worse issues or anything like that. Trauma should not be compared.
No.
Period. Trauma is trauma, no matter what it looks like, no matter who perceives it. Trauma is trauma. Trauma is going to look different for everyone because we experience different forms of trauma. Trauma is a shapeshifter. It looks like many different things because we familiarize it with many different things. Trauma should be discussed. It should not be compared.
Yes, 100%. A+ Brady.
I mean, I was just
You're right, and I think it is easy to fall down that rabbit hole of being like, oh well, people have it so much worse than me. Like I shouldn't feel bad. And yes, there is like times where you should feel more gratitude, and maybe you're just kind of in a negative state of mind, and you can work your way out of it. But also, like, it doesn't invalidate what you were going through or what you have gone through.
Exactly.
You know. There is always going to be someone else on this planet that is experiencing something harder than you, that their life is harder than yours, but it doesn't mean that your life is not difficult at the moment or what you've gone through isn't difficult, and it's okay to sit in that and think about it and be sad about it or angry or whatever the emotion is. So, yeah, feel it, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Don't let it define you, and don't become it, but you can feel it.
Don't fall into that rabbit hole of hyperfixating on it, but
we both do that. Though I don't know, you're saying it like you own that, but we both do that too.
Yeah. So, as a continuation of last week's episode, we're going to discuss a different shape of trauma. Mm-hmm. And what that has looked like.
It seems a lot more complicated.
It's
right?
Yeah, because it wasn't done deliberately by him.
Yeah.
None of it was ever done deliberately by him, but there's so many.
Our father, as
Our father,
we say
our
him,
father,
our father,
dad, yeah.
not God or Jesus Christ, but our father, as in like our biological dad, our father.
Our father.
The way we kept saying our father sounded like we were like trying to pray or something.
This is actually a sermon. No, it was never anything done by his hand. But
it's
he
weird.
could have prevented.
Yeah, it's weird.
Almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Tell us about our father, Brady. You can, if you want to start as kind of like a backstory and.
Yeah. So I'll start. I truly feel that Dad is a really, really good man with a really, really big heart. The unfortunate thing about Dad is very misled. Dad is very similar to many individuals who are victims of abuse. Mm-hmm. His heart is in the right place. I feel like he does still know right from wrong. I feel like he does have an understanding of what we went through and how fucked up it was.
Interruption, raising my hand. Question: does that make it worse? Do you think it makes it worse that he has the knowledge of knowing what is right or wrong instead of him like just being completely oblivious? You know what I mean?
It's hard to say because kind of the same thing. Like I said, I feel like he is so confused and misguided. Mm-hmm. And we talked about tools and resources of overcoming this. He never had those.
That's true.
He still doesn't have those, unfortunately. So it's like, does that make him more of the villain or more of the victim? Like,
we are still figuring that out.
Still trying to figure that out.
Every day we're still grappling with that question. So yeah, it's a tough one. I guess we are very aware that our mother is the way she is, and she is an easy person for me to not have in our life. And I would say me and you and our oldest brother as well do not have a relationship with our mother.
We do not. We do not. I have not spoken to her in almost 10 years, like 9 years.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The last time I spoke to her, the last time I saw her was, at y'all's wedding.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I have spoken to her like a lot more recently than that. It took me a little bit. I had to come to my own terms and come
and it's
on my
your
own timeline.
Process, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
On my own timeline. But I think it worked better for me, and it made me more secure in my decision, and I feel more healthy in that decision making because I went on my own timeline. But no, like none of us have a relationship with her. And I'm never going to say never, but personally for me, I do not ever see a reality where I will have a relationship with her. She is not a safe person for me to be around. She is not a safe person for my children to be around, or my husband, or anyone I care about. That is something that I have let go of. I said goodbye to that relationship, and that is not something I think will ever happen.
And made peace with it.
Yeah, and that's okay. Our father is kind of a different story. It's more complicated. There are more for me personally, there are a lot more complicated feelings associated with Dad than there are my mom. Like I said, it's a very easy decision to be like, okay, I will never have anything to do with you. But with our dad, I agree with you. I think he is a good person. I think he has a very good heart. And I think he does genuinely love us all. And he loves us for who we are.
Yes.
The way he has shown that and the way he has showed up for us has not been the way that we needed. But I think there has never been a time where I have doubted that dad loves us. You know,
I agree.
I've always
Correct.
known that. And I think I always will know that. And so it's definitely it's a difficult relationship, and it is harder to let go of. And I'm going to be honest, I have not let go of that relationship yet. I still have a relationship with our father. It is more distant. It is the more like text.
There are boundaries.
Yeah, there are text.
There are boundaries in
and,
place.
and phone calls and stuff like that, but it is a lot more distant, and you can discuss your relationship with our dad as of to this day.
Honestly, same. Honestly, same. I talk to him occasionally. I talk to him when I can, but kind of like the same thing. There are those boundaries already in place.
Yeah.
So.
And so I guess do you want, because I went on the whole fucking mother tangent, do you want to explain what led us to this relationship with our father?
So Dad is very old school. Dad is very traditional. Dad is very much, you take those vows, you better mean them. Like, I have so much love and respect for my dad because he did teach me respect. He taught me honor. He taught me a lot of core characteristics, both morally and like just personality wise. But the unfortunate thing is dad was in a situation that he was not ready for, and that he could not enforce nor execute those same values and those same characteristics.
But we also need to say that he had a choice in this matter. He made that choice. He was not.
Exactly.
It was not like this was thrown on him out of nowhere. He
actively
made that choice and has made that choice every day since. You know.
Yes. Yeah. No. He is well aware. He's probably the most aware of who our mother is, what she does, what she is capable of. But in his mind, he took those vows, for better or worse, in sickness and in health, and he is going to dedicate his life to that, to being her husband. Which, on one hand, like I've said this before, on one hand, is literally like the most honorable thing ever. But with who it is, and the fact that she has put him under the exact similar abusive tactics that she brought onto us is also the most frustrating thing ever, because I'm going to say it, you're the adult.
Yeah.
You were the adult. You were honestly kind of the only adult with a conscious, sound mind and body that could have done something.
And you have...
So
there's also, like, I get what you're saying. I do. And I understand it. I feel that. But, like, yes, it is honorable to a degree and you can respect it. But also, like, you have 3 fucking kids that are dependent on you. That are dependent on you to feel safe, to feel loved, to feel wanted. And you could not do that. And not just you could not do that. You chose not to do that. And so that's the hard part. I feel like we can be I feel more anger towards my father than I even do towards mom in most instances. And she was the instigator. She was the one saying things. She was the one doing things. She was the one causing the problems. But I feel more mad at our dad than I do her, because he would he felt like our safe haven for so long. But in reality, he kind of wasn't, because he never showed up for her. Like, the relationship dynamic between like our father, our mother, and us is he chose her every time over us. There was never...
He showed up for us unless the opposition was her.
Yeah. He chose her every single time. And I feel like once you... when you are in a marriage or in a relationship, it is vital to have your partner's back. It is built, it's like helping with that foundation, that honesty, that respect, that mutual bond and trust that you can make with your partner. Very important. But once you have children, that are so dependent on you,
that
is where the fucking flip switches, you know? Like, if my husband, I cannot imagine, and my husband and I have had this conversation before, because my husband knows my mother very well. He knows my father very well. He has been around for over a decade. He has seen a lot of stuff. And he has said, if I ever turn into my mother and I am unwilling to get help or unwilling to change or anything, he's going to leave. He's going to take the kids and leave. Very valid. I think he should. If he acted that way, I would take the kids and leave because their safety is at a risk at that point. And so our dad just letting so much happen to us, physical abuse, mental abuse, that he saw with his own eyes. He was there. And just glossing over it and enabling it and dismissing it is very hard to... It's hard to, like, you can't defend that. There is no excuse.
It's hard to accept.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that. But also, like, I love him. I love our dad. And I think I will always love our dad. I have, because you and our oldest brother left, and I grew a relationship with Dad that was very special to me. And it's weird. Out of everything that happened, it's very special to me. And he's a very special person, and I will always love him. And so it's hard to come to that reality of being like, you could have done so much more, and you should have been so much more of who you are as a person. And the thing too, like, now that we're older and we have grown up and we have dealt with these things and worked through what our mom has done to us, and he is still in that environment, it's like you feel sad for him. It's very strange because I feel sad for his life because his life is so fucking sad. Living in that day in and day out is so sad. But also it's like you are choosing this every day. And so it's hard to feel bad for that, you know? So it's so complicated. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, because
welcome to Trauma Dump Tuesdays.
what I've tried to, I guess, fully understand and take hold of is Dad wasn't given the same tools and resources that we were, and wasn't prepared for everything that he was going to have to endure. Now, granted, did he have a choice? Yes, absolutely. He definitely had a choice. Did he choose wrong? Yeah. But I don't think...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't think that Dad had the wherewithal, had the full comprehension that he did have a choice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that back and forth. And I'm not trying to, like I said, make excuses for him or anything like that. But just knowing him and knowing his life, it connects. The dots connect.
And I was going to say with his life, his father passed away when he was very young. Very unexpectedly, his dad died. We never got to meet our grandfather on his side. And he has a younger sister that has severe Down syndrome.
Yes.
Like very severe Down syndrome. So she needs pretty much full-time care. And so he was raised by a single mom who was an incredible person. But also she was a single mom to and our father was an athlete, like a very successful athlete growing up.
Amazing baseball player.
Yeah, he was a baseball player. He got drafted by the Red Sox. I'll say that.
In the early 80s.
Yep,
yes,
got drafted by the Red Sox. He was a pitcher for UT. He was a pitcher for Columbia State. Yeah, was that it?
Yep.
Columbia State. He got drafted by the Red Sox, broke his wrist 2 weeks before he was supposed to start training. Very tragic story with that. But
if that didn't happen...
which could also tie into like the reason why his mind works the way it does now. Like there's so many factors. Yeah, if that wouldn't have happened, we wouldn't be here. Fucking spilling the tea to our audience. But he would have been better off probably. So he had like a very strange upbringing where I feel like he had to kind of step up and be the man of the house at a very early age.
At a very young age.
Because our grandmother, his mom was a teacher who worked full time and also had like kind of like a side business of sewing. Like she was a boss bitch. Like she was a wonderful woman.
She ran her shit.
She was a wonderful woman. But so he was kind of the man of the house and had to take that role. And so I think seeing his family dynamic fall apart at a very early age where his dad unexpectedly passed away, his sister needing a lot more care than he expected,
Correct, yeah.
Having that kind of maybe set his brain in this role of being like having this traditional family is much more important. And like keeping a marriage together, having a mom and dad in the household is much more important than not having that. Because he grew up with no dad in the household. Mm-hmm. And so I try to think of it as like, is that his way of thinking? That keeping the family together and keeping the mom and dad in the household is healthy and the traditional way that family should be and the way it should look, whatever that fucking shit is. I don't agree with that. It doesn't matter. As long as you're...
There's no should be.
No, there's no rules. As long as as long as you were healthy and raising your kids in a healthy way, it doesn't matter if there's a single mom, a single dad, two dads, two moms, like it doesn't fucking matter at all. But it's this traditional mindset, like you said. And so I don't know if that is kind of a reason he has stayed. And he has told me in the past that like, he's like, if I could leave, then I would, but I can't. Mm-hmm. He feels like shackled down to this role. And he is like, he's not even, I'm going to be very honest, he's not a husband anymore. He's a caretaker at this point. Their relationship is literally just him caring for her because she is in very bad health, and he is not in the best health either because he doesn't take very good care of himself. So he's like barely capable enough to take care of himself, and then he has to take care of this other person who's very hard to take care of and also a bitch to him most of the time. So yeah, it's fucking miserable. It's terrible. And so I don't know, it's so complicated. And so there's so many like thoughts of like, what if? And there are so many moments that pop up in my mind where I'm like, you should have said something. Like, Dad, you should have shown up for us. We're your kids. We should come first at this point, Like, when she is physically abusing you or physically abusing our oldest brother, where were you? Watching and not doing anything about it. And so it's like, that is so hard to grapple with, but he is such a enjoyable person to be around, which is a very strange thing to say right after I say that. But like, if you were sitting and like anyone who is listening who has ever met him or ever had a conversation with him, if you sit in a room with him, he is very enjoyable to talk to. He's goofy and he's super goofy and he's loving and he's warm and he's just like, it's so strange. And he listens, like he's a good listener. Like, he's just a very enjoyable person to be around. So it's extremely complicated because our mother is such a not enjoyable person to be around. So it's very, this sounds bad, but it's very easy to not like her. It's very easy to not have those feelings attached. With him, it's a lot harder to not have those feelings attached. And so that's what I struggle with.
Yeah. It's, like I said, many different forms, many different shapes. Trauma can look very interesting in some cases, and this is one of those cases where I feel like it looks, it's so hard to describe.
Was there a moment for you, this might be too specific, but I'm going to ask anywhere, was there a moment for you that happened in our childhood where our dad was around and you were like really hoping that he would do something and he just didn't? Is there a moment that you can think of where you were like, oh, he is in too deep and I can't rely on him, you know?
It was more, I don't know if there was a, like, quintessential moment. Either I've forgotten it or I've repressed it.
Fair. Your brain has to fucking cope.
Yeah. I think it was just more gradual, like, as time would go on, and especially as, like, I started to notice, like, mom spiraling more. Him just gradually not seeing him come to our defense was just almost like, okay, I have no help here.
Yeah.
This is the way life is now.
Yeah. And I feel like we relied on him so much. You know, like he was the one he wasn't stable in any means, but he was the one stable parent that we had in a way, and so we relied on him more. And then when he didn't show up, it kind of hit harder than it would have because he was the only one that we wanted to show up.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like, yeah, like we were exposed to this abuse for around 20 years.
Yeah.
I think we all moved out.
Yeah, about 20 years, honestly, each.
Yeah, we all moved out around the same time. And I think for him, he has felt so stuck in it, and he's been exposed to it a lot longer than we have. And he has probably seen more than we have, too. And so I think that has definitely reprogrammed his brain into thinking it's more okay than it is, you know?
Yeah, he does. And you said it perfectly. I feel like he feels like her caretaker now.
Yeah.
Like, if he were to leave, he feels like something would happen to her and he wouldn't be able to live with that.
The guilt. But also, like, that's not his fucking job. You know, that's my thing, is like his own happiness has been stifled for the last fucking like 40 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it worth that? Like, and this sounds so dramatic, and I know that, but like, I can't imagine. Our father is now 65.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being 65 years old and looking back at your life and be like, what the fuck have I done for decades? Like, I have wasted all of it. Like, that is one of the saddest thoughts I've ever had. Like, it is so sad to be 65 and to be in poor health and to continue on that path. There is no trajectory to getting out of this. He is not actively trying to get out of this situation. He is going to stay in it. It's just gonna it's just gonna be this until he dies.
Yeah,
until he dies.
He's too loyal.
That is so, but loyal to a person that doesn't deserve to be loyal to, you know?
Yep.
And so it's so, and who has thrown him under the bus and would throw him under the bus in a second, you know, to benefit herself. That's how it's always been. But I can't imagine how sad it is to look back when you are in your mid-60s and to not have a strong relationship with any of your children, not have a happy marriage, have no external relationships because they're on their fucking own island. Like, they have no relationships due to their own behavior, due to his enabling to our mom's behavior, like
their own decisions, like
nothing. Yep. I can't imagine how sad and dark that would feel. The loneliness of that makes me want to throw up. And that sounds dramatic,
but literally.
But it's like, when you think about him, he is such, like, and it's so weird because in my mind I'm thinking this stuff and then I'm like, after everything I've said, no, but I'm like, he's such a deserving person of happiness. Even after everything that he has done or not done, I feel like he deserves happiness, and it's just like, it's never going to happen, you know? And that is a very fucking sad life, but also that is the impact of decisions that you make. And that is, I have never believed in karma. I have never believed in, like, what you give is what you get until I was older. And they are a perfect example of that, of what you give is what you get. And that is happening right now, and we are seeing it happen.
It is. And it's heartbreaking, but like you said, it's his choice.
Yeah. It's fucking rough, man. This sounds so weird, but like I hate talking about Dad. I don't enjoy it. It doesn't make me feel good because it's so conflicting.
It's a sad story. The whole thing is just a sad story.
Yeah, it's so conflicting. Like, I love him so much and I don't want to. It's like I've got like two little people on my shoulders, and it's like, you shouldn't, like, after everything he's done, but also it's like, no, he's a good person and he means well, and then it's just back and forth over and over. I don't want to love him at all. And I'm going to be honest, he doesn't deserve me to love him either. He doesn't deserve my kind of love after everything he has done and not done. But I can't help it. And I think it'll always be there. And I think that's okay. And I am still, and you're probably working with it every single day, because I'm working with it every single day.
Yeah.
Just trying to like navigate that, because it's very hard when you are so emotionally disconnected to one parent and they are attached to your other parent that you do love very much. You know, it's hard. That package deal is very hard for me to work through in my brain.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm right there with you. I get it. It's kind of like what I said is I love him. If you know me like today and you know him as well, you know we are so fucking similar, like personality wise, and just the we almost have the same laugh. Like, honestly, me with a mustache looks so similar to Dad in his 30s with a mustache.
Which is a good thing. He was a babe.
It is a good thing. He was a hunk.
He was a babe.
But no, like I have to have those boundaries up. I have to be just a little bit guarded because of like you said, everything that has happened, and I know the peace that I need in my life, and I cannot fully let him in because his actions would be a disruptor of that. And it sucks, but that's kind of why both of us have been on our own since, like you said, 1920.
Yeah.
Not the year 1920. Age is 19.
We use really good skincare, and that's why we look this good.
You ever seen The Age of Adeline? It's the
it
same
just goes
science.
Backwards. Yeah.
We can't discuss it.
Or it's Benjamin Button. We just
Benjamin
go backwards.
Button. Yeah. I'm actually an 84-year-old man.
You look fantastic. No, I think it's so hard because, like, I'm going to be honest, since we have moved into our home that we live in now, I haven't seen our dad at all. But I had a conversation with him a few weeks ago, and I actually invited him over, and I was like, anytime that you were kind of in the area or you have free time, you can stop by. And the thing is like, it's so weird for me, but like, I enjoy being around my dad. My husband knows who my dad is. Like, we are not dismissing his actions. We are not naive to who he is.
No.
But
you're aware.
My husband is like, yeah, anytime he wants to come over, yes. And then I want him to be a grandfather, you know, like, he loves my children. He loves my kids, and it's not just like, oh, I love them because they're my grandkids. Like, he actually pays attention to their likes and their dislikes and who they are, and he loves them, and he just shows them that. And so I would love for him to be an involved father in my life, and also an involved grandfather as well, because I think my kids could be really well impacted by him. With me as a buffer, because I'm not going to let anything be said or done that could damage them. I'm very aware of that. But like, when I invited him, his first comment was like, well, can your mom come? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. And he's like, well, you know, that would be tough for me. And I'm like, and I told him, I was like, in that conversation, I was like, look, I've had to work around her my entire life.
Yep.
If you want a relationship with me and your grandchildren, you can make it happen without her. If not, that's on you. I want you here. You were invited. She is not welcome in my home. She is not welcome around me or my children. She is not a safe person to be around my family. If you want to, make it happen. If it's not that important to you, that's on you. And so we'll see what that turns into. Probably not going to see him again, but
hey, but you stood firm. I'm proud of you. You stood firm.
I know, but still, but that being like, isn't it wild to be like, you fucking know who she is and what she's done, and that is your first question, is if she can come too?
Yep.
No, absolutely not. There is no chance in hell that she is ever coming near me again, or my children. She is never coming near my children. Like, I don't know. It's just messy, and I think we are discussing this because it is very messy, and we are still figuring it out. We don't have all the answers. We don't know. Family dynamics are strange, and relationships with parents are strange, and relationships with siblings and children and like other family members. It varies, and it's weird, and that's okay. And it's okay to have feelings about one parent and then have a completely different feeling about a different parent, you know?
Absolutely.
And we are still navigating that. And so I think that's a reason why we wanted to touch on this, especially with like May being Mental Health Awareness Month, because this does take a toll on your mental health. You know, like these are, I think I was telling you before we started recording, like my children, did I say this on the podcast? Maybe I did. I don't know. I said my children like are my world, or I am their world.
Yeah.
Like to my kids.
You said that last episode, yeah.
Ah, shit, we'll cut that out.
It's okay. No. You make a good point.
Yeah, but families are just hard, and it's okay. And I think with Mental Health Awareness Month, this can take a toll on mental health, and it definitely has an impact on not just who you are as a child, like your family dynamic, and your parents don't just have a say in who you are as a child. You carry that shit with you into adulthood and into your future relationships, and it's rough to navigate.
Essentially, whatever you're struggling with, whether it be past trauma, current trauma, past mistakes, inability to stay present, uncharted territory, or just literally your mind running rampant and you don't know how to calm it, just please take care of yourself. Like it, and I know that sounds cliche, but it, as someone who has experienced the negative effects of it firsthand, I can say that if you leave it unchecked, it's going to be a bigger fucking demon than you have ever seen, and you're going to feel hopeless, and you're going to feel defenseless. You're going to feel trapped as well. So just take care of yourself. Reach out to your inner circle. Communicate with them. I am also guilty of not doing that. I will be the first to say that. We talked about it last episode. I'm an isolator. Like, it's not good for you because same thing, you isolate. You're not, the only voice that is you're listening to right now is that same voice that's feeding you all of this negativity. So, and
that's why I call you over and over until you answer me. Because I know.
Yep.
No, whenever it's really interesting because like, this sounds so strange and probably gross, but I feel very connected to you because we're siblings, and we also like have a friendship, like a very deep friendship as well. But like any time you are going through a hard time, I've told you I have like a sister sense that tingles, and so I'll just like, I know every time, like as soon as it starts, I'll text you and I'll be like, having a feeling, are you having a rough time? And your response is always like, no, I'm good, whatever. And then you'll come back, then I'll keep going because I still have that sense. I'm like, I have a feeling.
Keep poking.
I know. I'm like, I know something is off. There is no way that it's not off. I know. And then finally you're like, yeah, like life's been a little hard lately. And then I'm
I
like,
always
yeah.
downplay it.
I'm
God,
like,
I still downplay it.
I know. I'm like, do
I'm
not
bad about that.
discredit the sister sense. It is there, and I know you can't lie to me. Because every time I'm
Yeah.
like, sure. I know, though.
Yeah, it wasn't until recently where I was like, no, this is a consistent issue that I'm gonna have to overcome. So,
And that's okay.
But it is okay. It is okay.
It's just navigating it. But I think the important thing is like to know that I think it's very hard to not feel like your emotions are burdening other people's lives because you're like, everyone's life is so busy or they're going through their own shit right now. Like, life is hard. The world is heavy right now because
who am I to put this on?
Yeah, you are diminishing your own emotions for the sake of other people without even giving them the chance, you know? Like, you can't read their mind. I have the emotional capacity for you to tell me your problems. I have the emotional capacity for the people I care about, to tell me their problems. That's what we're here for. When I'm having a hard time, you are one of the first people I reach out to, and I cry on the phone for hours, and I'm like, life is hard, and I'm sad, listen to me. And so that's what we're here for. When life is good, if you have people in your circle that you can celebrate and be happy with and share good news, that's wonderful. But when life is bad, those people are also there for that. And it is not a burden. And it makes me very sad that, because I feel that same way sometimes too. Like, it's very sad for me that people think just because you're having a hard time, you're inconveniencing someone else with your hard time. And even if you're having, because I've had like stints where I've been in a low place for an extended amount of time. And anytime someone calls me, I'm like, I'm still bad. It's not getting better. I don't have much to say. And it just seems like I'm a broken record, just like constant with this negativity. And I don't want to be that. And I feel like I'm just projecting that on other people, but that's not true. That's what we're here for. You know, people, we all have emotions, whether positive or negatives. And I've told you this many times the past couple weeks. Like, we all have good days and bad days. And those good days were here for you. Bad days were here for you too. And I need to take that on of us because I'm also not great at that either.
We both do.
It's hard. It's hard to navigate.
Being a human is hard. Navigating emotions is hard because they're...
In this day and age when fucking houses are $600,000 and the roofs are caving in, it's fucking hard to be a human. You want to...
like we're on the brink of war every goddamn day.
I know, the U.S. dollar is losing value and it's...
People are literally... U.S. citizens are literally getting
deported?
As, like...
The Brooklyn Bridge... Did you hear about that? The Brooklyn Bridge got crashed into, like a fertility clinic, a bomb. This guy drove a car with a bomb on it as like a terrorist attack. Like, life is fucking hard.
Life is really fucking hard.
Being a human is hard, and everyone's gaslighting all the time, and like everyone is like, not everyone, but like certain groups of people are like, no, everything's fine. And like, these plans are great. The big, beautiful bill is great. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Stop lying to me. I'm not an idiot. Like, research is saying very different things than what you're saying. But no, it's just, it's fucking crazy out there, and it's hard, and life is heavy, and every day you are getting more news, not only in your personal life of it feeling heavy, because I feel like personal things are happening, like in our own life.
Oh, of course.
In our own life.
the world around you.
Yeah, but just like everything that's happening right now, you're just like, how can I cope? And so we've been drinking tonight, and that's how we cope.
One of the ways.
And not a healthy way. You shouldn't meditate or do yoga or talk to someone or like go on a hike. Don't sit here and trauma dump with your brother for 2 hours while drinking. Like that.
Just do what makes you happy. Just do what makes you happy. Like, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Do what makes you happy with the people that you love and the people that love you in return.
Yes. And I think it's important to think too, like, you are not what you are feeling right now.
True.
If you are feeling really low, you are feeling sad, things are feeling like there is not a light at the end of the tunnel. You're
overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's not who you are.
That's not who you are. That's what you're feeling. And it's okay to feel that. but it's what you're feeling. And so I think it's important to not, because me and you both struggle with having very loud, negative inner dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
We both struggle with that.
Mine's an asshole.
Yeah,
Mine is
mean as shit. And you're like, where did this come from? But it came from a lot, you know, like whether it was your childhood or your parents or a mentor or whatever, like, or just yourself. Like, society has embedded in you that you are this way, but like, that's not who you are. So just reach out to people that love you and that you love. Have them give you a pep talk. Sometimes it's nice. You know, there's beauty in that. Give each other
a hug.
Yeah, it sounds so fucking ridiculous, but no, there is beauty in love. And love is not, and I've told you this, love is not a limited resource.
It's not.
It is very unlimited. And if you have love to give, which you always do, give it, because people need it right now.
Yep. You need it right now.
Yeah.
Give it to yourself as well.
Yeah. Fuck other people. Be selfish. Anyway, Brady, what are you listening to this week?
I've been listening to a lot of
palate cleanser.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of like just really angry music, like a lot of heavy music. The new Architects album is really, really good. The new Spirit Box album is really, really good. I have not gotten the chance because I feel bad because it's been out for like a week. I've not gotten the chance to listen to the new Sleep Token yet. The main reason I'm doing that is because I want to record my live reaction to it. I love this band. They're
Sleep Token.
They're
okay.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of them, but I actually think you'll really like them. I think you'll really, really like them. No one knows the identities of these individuals because they don't.
Ooh, I love that.
They don't.
It's like Marshmello, right? Or do we know the identity of Marshmello?
There's a rumor that it's
but it hasn't been confirmed.
I'm not confirmed. Yeah. But
there has not been a confirmed identity for Marshmello. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll send you some stuff, but I think you'll really like Sleep Token. They even write about mental health and a lot of just deep topics, whether it be relationships, relationships with yourself. I've not listened to that album yet, but I'm planning on listening to it, and I just honestly haven't gotten a chance to listen to it in its entirety, and I am adamant that like this is one of those albums that you need to listen to. You need to dedicate an hour, because I think it's like a runtime of 56 minutes. Dedicate that hour to listening to it from beginning to end, because I'm also like just anal about that with albums. Like if you're going to listen to an album, listen to it from beginning to end. Don't bebop around songs that pisses me off.
Do not shuffle an album 100%. If you learn anything from this goddamn episode, do not shuffle. Do not shuffle an album the first time.
If you're going in and you really, really like an artist and they just come out with a new album, listen
in order.
To it in its entirety. Yeah.
It is in order for a reason. That grinds my gears. Or in order for a reason. Do not shuffle that shit. Be better. Okay, keep going.
We'll talk about pet peeves next episode.
Ooh, perfect tie-in.
Because that's one of mine.
That's one of mine too.
Speaking of which, what are you listening to?
So I'm trying to think. What am I listening to? I'm listening to a lot of Mount Joy right now because their new album drops in a couple of weeks. And I don't know if you have heard their new song called Coyote.
I haven't heard their new song.
I've
heard their song.
I'll send it to you.
I think it was the first single. Actually,
that was a long time ago.
Not their very first single.
Okay, I was like, bruh.
Single. Hold on.
Coyote is.
It wasn't Coyote, but it was another one.
Incredible song.
More.
Okay, more is good. Yeah.
I've heard that because that's also another rule of mine when listening to music and bands are coming out with new songs. I will never listen to more than 2 new singles before the album is released, because I don't want to listen to too much of the album before the album comes out.
Okay, I disagree with that one, but whatever.
I'll put a maximum on 2 singles.
They're releasing it for a reason. But whatever.
That's because their label told them to. But
You
anyway, what do I know?
Some of them are not on labels. Some of them are independent and do their own shit, and they just want to release good music
That's
for you to enjoy.
That is fair.
But anyway, Coyote, listen to it. It's really good.
Okay.
But also, so I've been listening to that a lot. And then, so my birthday's coming up next month. And,
It is.
And my husband is throwing a fucking banger, apparently, for my birthday, and has given me only one job, and that is to create a playlist, because we're going to have like somewhat of a silent disco. Like, we're going to have equipment and headphones and shit for a silent disco, because we've talked about AirPod parties. I fucking love them. And so I've been listening to a lot of music that is going to go in the silent disco playlist. So I'm curating the perfect playlist, and it is a mix of very dancey music and angsty 2000 emo music and
literally
and like pop
you to a
hits.
T.
Yeah. So that's what I've been listening to, because I'm curating a perfect B-Day Bash playlist.
That's actually going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited. That is my only job, which I'm very excited, because he has taken full creative control. He is like, I will invite everyone. I will take care of the food. I will do this. I will do that. And I'm like, please. I
love that.
1,000 micro decisions every single day with being a stay-at-home mom. I want a day where I have to make 0 decisions except for which music we listen to. And that I can do. So I'm trying to curate the perfect birthday playlist. So that has been...
I love that.
But
That's
going
to be fun.
Yeah, I can't give too much away, because it's going to be a surprise. Eddie doesn't even know what's on the playlist either. He says he doesn't want to know. So, full surprise.
I mean, I can guess.
You can guess some.
I can guess 3 songs that I know.
I'm sure you are correct.
Yeah.
We've talked about my AirPod party must-haves, and so those, of course, are on the birthday list. But yeah, that's what I'm listening to.
Good choices. Good choices.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This was intended to be a heavier series of episodes. Just with May being mental health awareness, we wanted to bring light to that, and also bring light that we can sit here behind our screens and behind our microphones and give you all the advice and all the guidance and all of the tools that has helped us into who we are today, but also realizing that we're still human and we still struggle. And you are not a burden because you are struggling. You are human, and that is okay. And that is part of being human. So yeah, just take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to one another. And yeah, Faith, you got anything else?
You make me emotional.
Well,
No, I'm tearing up. No, I just think it's like, I don't know. Yeah. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month. It's a big deal. And even if your family that you were unexpectedly put in disappoints you, you can create your own family, whether that be a spouse, a partner, children, friends, whatever that looks like. Family that are also friends. Like, it is what you create, and that can be your family.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's a Harry Styles song called Matilda that is a very sweet, sad song, and he mentioned it's very similar. It really relates.
It's a great song. But
it really relates to kind of my childhood, and I sent it to you as soon as I heard it, because I was like, you have to hear this shit, because it'll make you cry like a baby. But it's really good, and there's a lyric where he's like, you can make a family that will always show you love, and so you can always create your own family. And so I think that's important. Yeah, let it go. And I'm happy that I've created my family. And even though, Brady, you are biologically a part of my family, I would create you as my family in every single life after this. So, and I'm happy that everyone is listening to us fucking be mushy and sad and talk about our daddy and mommy issues. we appreciate you, and we love you for being here, and thanks for tuning in. And you know the drill, our socials are in the description. We love you. Thank you. I love you, Brady. Thank you.
I love you, Faith.
And
thank y'all so much for being here. This is Let Me Nostalgia, and we will see y'all next time.
Next week. Bye.
Bye.
This to sound mean, but like, who cares?
I quit my job for this.
Let Me Nostalgia podcast.